hit record.
Oh, man. It's not really if Bella's walking around.
Bella, please do not fuck us. Right there?
Okay.
Bella's a bitch. Literally, it's not an insult. It's just a fact.
This is true. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of the ZymCast.
I like how we used to have fun with our intros, but now Chase wants to get professional. Like, it's probably a good idea, but it kills my soul a little bit.
It was more fun editing when you guys had fun with the intros.
I guess.
I just called Bella a bitch. Can't we run with that? No.
Except for the one country one. That was not good.
Ha ha. I love that one.
That was funny, I think. Even though I hate country music. Hi, my name is Chase Matherly.
I'm Kyle Grubb.
And I'm Cheyenne.
Yes. And this is the ZymCast, as I said.
Yeah.
And we like to have fun with our intros, except when we don't.
Except when we don't, arbitrarily. So, how you doing, Chase?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, Kyle? He's dying over there, coughing.
I was trying to be quiet. I was hoping you'd talk longer.
No, I gotta point it out.
I know. I'm alive.
Ooh, that's a great state of being.
I mean, so further continuing the. I'm sorry about that.
He's yelling at my ear.
Yeah, further continuing the chronicles of Kyle's health. So the pink guy got better.
Yes, the pink eye that you had. Oh, we listeners would probably notice that we skipped a week.
Yeah, well, they probably won't.
Probably
really,
won't.
To be honest here. We skipped a week.
Yeah, but that was 2 weeks ago when Kyle had pink eye.
Correctamundo when we did our Avengers episode.
Correct.
Which a lot of people, well, okay. In a grand scheme of things, very few people watched. But for us, a lot of people listened to that.
Yeah.
But I had pink eye. I no longer have pink eye. But I am at the end stages of strep throat. Because why not? Also, just right smack dab in the middle of that, my grandfather died.
Yeah.
So, like, why not?
Your health is terrible.
It's not just mine.
Apparently. Is it
No.
a familial thing?
I don't think so, unless we can, as a family, hit our heads on things and suffer internal bleeding.
Oof.
I love
it's gotta be hereditary, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my family does actually fall a lot, to be fair. Very uncoordinated group of people. I loved my grandfather very much. He was a very good man. My mother is currently up in Seattle right now with a good chunk of her family. My mother's family is very large. She is one of 7.
Oof.
And her siblings had many children. I think I'm one of 20. Like, I have 22 cousins.
I think I'm one of them.
No. Well, I mean, yes. Well, actually, that's not true. I said my mother's siblings had many children. I'm not one of those.
Oh, well. Unless you thought you were.
I think I have like 22 cousins.
Damn.
It's a lot. And now my cousins are having kids, and so the family keeps getting like growing larger and larger and larger. What were you gonna say?
I have like 5 cousins.
Yeah, that's like normal
between both parents.
Yeah, I have far fewer cousins on my father's side. But yeah, so the Leonard dynasty running up in Washington. Leonard. Yeah, and my grandfather was a good man. He was loved by very many people, and not everybody can be there for the service.
Mm-hmm.
But in July, I'm going to be out of town for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
We had my grandparents. They've been married a long time, and there was one of those anniversaries. And oh wait, I can check real quick.
Insert number.
Never
here.
mind, I can't. I don't want to spend that much time.
Yeah.
But it was one of the big ones. I think it was like 60, maybe like 60 years together.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were gonna have a big family reunion. Now, I mean, we're still having that family reunion, but now it's kind of also been co-opted
under
like
different circumstances.
I mean, yeah, but we're still gonna have fun. The whole family's just gonna get together, have a good time, and then we're gonna use that as an opportunity to like honor him.
Mm-hmm.
It's always painful losing somebody.
Yeah.
But this was at least one of those situations where my grandfather was a very like well-loved man, and he knew it, and nobody in that side of the family ever shied away from talking about how much they love each other, and so there was no like regrets that I know of really. And yeah,
that's good.
that is good.
Yeah,
it's not one of the situations where like the last thing I ever said to my father before he died was that he was a bastard and a scoundrel and a fiend. And then my stomach gargled.
That's my throat, actually.
Oh no, my stomach also gurgled. Whatever. Noises, sound effects. That's the high quality image. So
I prefer to call them sound effects.
To bring the energy back up after talking about death,
I don't know. Your energy was pretty high talking about death.
I'm trying to stay positive.
Yeah.
I've had a week. I also don't quite think it's hit me yet, to be entirely honest.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we'll bring it back around to death later on in the episode.
that's what we do here at the ZymCast, having fun and talking about death.
Oh.
It's like my fourth favorite podcast about death.
I didn't know that's what we did. Okay.
I mean, okay, let's break it down. It's like Avengers Endgame. Like half of all life was dead in that movie for a while.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I'm sure that we've mentioned death other times.
Tomb Raider.
Oh, her deaths
Oh.
in the game.
Yeah, it's true.
The way that she's
It's
died.
true. Also, I would like to apologize to all of our fans who hold us to high
Yeah,
standards.
who we let down.
We did not mention Alicia Vikander's Tomb Raider in the Endgame episode. We were so blinded by the MCU.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a criminal mistake on our
Yeah,
part,
we
and I
broke that
apologize. It was like a 7-episode streak
Because,
for no reason. Oh, I'm so sad.
yeah.
When Cheyenne brought that up, I was just so disappointed with myself.
I know. We had it coming. We had it going.
We only had ourselves to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. I know you don't get the reference here. It's fine. Somebody out there might listen to
You don't
this.
know what that is?
No.
But besides Cheyenne, somebody else was like, "Oh my God, Chicago!"
Is that Chicago?
Yes.
What song is that?
Don't worry about it, man. Let's just move on.
No, I'm upset.
No, we're moving on.
No, not the band.
Oh, the
The
Broadway?
The Broadway.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like, okay.
No, it's very different things.
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, it's things that have also happened this week. It's a lot of trailers that have.
A lot of trailers.
Come
So
out.
trailer talk.
Oh no.
Trailer talk. That's our intro.
No. Okay.
That's our intro now. I'll forget it and then make a new one next week. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So we have a holy trifecta of trailers to talk about
Right.
today. Tried to get as many teases as I could in there.
Yes. They're titular.
Yeah, that's also a word that starts with the letter T.
Yeah. Speaking of
Terribly done.
Speaking of teas, unrelated Endgame past Titanic.
Yes, very exciting. So, technically and officially, the second highest grossing movie of all time. It looks like it will beat Avatar, maybe. Some people say yes. Some people say no.
I'd say probably.
I think if I were a betting man, I'd say it'll barely beat it.
Well,
Probably
I mean,
end in somewhere in the mid 2.8s.
this is like its overall gross throughout its run, right? That we're
Yes.
looking at. If I know Marvel, they're gonna fucking milk the shit out of that movie and keep it in theaters for so long.
Yeah, I get that, but at a certain point, it's very diminishing returns.
It's still going up.
Yes, it is.
And
I
it
mean,
will
this
still be
is
going up.
the movie that this last Monday, it made like $10 million, thus making more than any other movie made the previous weekend.
That's fucking crazy.
Because this movie cannibalizes
Well,
everything
do you
that comes
remember
out.
how long Black Panther was in theaters?
I wish I didn't.
Black Panther was in theaters when the DVD release came out.
I know.
There was in the pre-show for Black Panther. They're like, "Hey, get it on DVD." You're like, well, it's you're coming to see it in the movie.
Now, to be fair, though, I don't think this movie is actually going to have the legs of Black Panther.
I don't think so.
Just because, I mean, Black
Considering
Panther.
how well it did domestically.
Yes, that is the difference. Because looking at the numbers now, there is basically zero chance that this is going to beat Star Wars: The Force Awakens' domestic record of like $900 and something stupid $million.
Something stupid.
I mean, that's a stupid number. It's probably going to land somewhere in like the mid 800s, which is still huge and a very strong second place domestic. But that Force Awakens money in the US was something special. And Canada. We always forget that Canada counts for domestic too.
Does it really?
Yes.
Because it's not overseas.
Exactly.
Does Mexico count too?
I don't know. Probably.
Peru? Paraguay?
I don't think people are counting Peru.
I'm just saying, like, if it's
Look,
domestic, does that mean the entire American continent?
I'm just saying,
Well, I guess
man.
North America makes
You know
more
we
sense.
draw arbitrary lines.
Yeah.
That's what countries are called.
Okay, if Canada's included, but we don't know if Mexico is, then that's probably North America. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think of that like that.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll probably overtake Avatar and become the biggest release of all time. Of course, you also need to then bear in mind that if you adjust for inflation, it's never going to get anywhere close to Avatar's number. I think adjusted for inflation, Avatar's at like a 3.9 billion. Damn. Yeah, that goes to show how many times people watch that fucking movie. But then you have like Gone with the Wind. I think might still be number one, like adjusted for inflation. That movie, it's still hilarious to know that people thought no movie about the Civil War will ever make a dime. And I think people watched that movie exclusively every day for a year in theaters. Because everyone saw that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Gone with the Wind?
Yes. Not in theaters.
I didn't think so.
I mean, it's still in theaters technically. Like it comes back.
Yeah, I know. But I haven't. I ignore the fact that I just saw a 3-hour movie in theaters. I don't want to sit through Gone with the Wind in a theater. It's not a bad movie.
People sit through Schindler's List when it came back.
Schindler's List 2. Schindler's pissed. Yeah, I know. And I don't know. Something about Gone with the Wind. Like, I've seen that movie. I enjoyed that movie a lot. I have no desire to ever watch it again.
I saw it in like 7th grade. Was not
in school.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not that interested in it. I don't think we finished it, honestly.
I don't know how you would. Well, we're dedicating an entire week of class to Gone with the fucking Wind. Yeah. It might be faster if y'all just read the book.
Speaking of that, in one of my classes, we did that with Dances with Wolves.
Avatar on Earth.
Yeah,
exactly. As it's known these days.
It took us like 3 days to get through that movie.
Yep. I remember I was in a summer school class one time, and we got through the curriculum really fast.
And then you had a bunch of extra time.
Like our entire last week was just like wide open.
Yeah, that's how it goes when you finish things quickly.
Yes. So our teacher, it was a history class, and he's like, okay, so we're just going to watch like as much of Band of Brothers as we can get through.
Ooh, I watched that for my history class, but that was like part of the curriculum.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was my history of World War II class.
Nice.
It was fucking dope.
That show is so good. Yeah. So I watched like the first 5 episodes of that in class. I'm like, I need to finish this.
Yeah.
And so I bought the entire set. I still own it.
That's awesome. I remember because then I had that class in high school, history of World War II.
I wish I could have a history of World War II class in high school.
It was a great class. And then, but to offset the awesomeness of that class, I mean, not really to offset it, but I had a robotics class.
That sounds also very cool.
It does, yeah. And we did some stuff for the first like week and a half or so, 2 weeks maybe, a few weeks. I don't even know. I remember we did stuff, and then like the next few weeks of class, we just played fucking Xbox and Switch wasn't out yet, so Wii U games.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, and it was like the teacher was just like, yeah, fuck it.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was like I was kind of pissed too because I like all the work that we had done up to that point. I got like 100% and like did all the work.
Then when the video game started, you just started failing.
No, we didn't have any like assignments. Like he would just give us grades.
I was being sarcastic.
The thing was, I got a B in the class, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get a B? I've gotten 100% on everything that we've had.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I like we had topics today, but I feel like I need to dissect this. Okay, so you're telling me that in high school, high school, not like a weird college class or something.
Yeah.
High school. You had a robotics class, and you had curriculum up to a certain point.
Yep.
But then, like, not an impossibly large amount of time into the semester, you just stopped doing robotics and started playing video games.
Yeah.
And you were just given scores.
Yep. It pissed me off.
You know what? As much as I love video games, I think that would piss me off too.
It was fun during class.
Yeah. Because I feel like, you're like in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, I'm playing video games.
We would play like Smash on Wii U.
Yeah, but then like you step away from that, you're like, this is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, like we learned stuff about the robotics curriculum, but then when it came down to it, like it was the only, like I think it was my junior year, of high school, and I got a B in that, and that was like the only thing that was bringing my GPA down. That like
it's even worse
from like a 4.0, and it pissed me the fuck off, and I went to my counselor. I'm like, hey, so I don't know what the fuck to do about this because he gave me a B, but all the curriculum and like I was like I scored A's on everything, and I don't know how this balances out.
You didn't talk to the teacher?
I think I did, but he was like a not really a dick, but he obviously didn't care.
I mean, clearly,
so
I don't know how we got away with this.
I think I told him first, and he was like, I don't remember what he said, but like it wasn't satisfying to me. So then I went to my counselor, and my counselor talked to him. And then I think he changed the grade in the end.
Okay, here's what I would have done. I would have scorched earth this motherfucker. I was like, you know what? You're not giving me this fucking A that I guess I deserve because like, fuck this. I'm going to be like, I have a meeting with the principal today. I know I probably should have said something in the heat of the moment, but now I'm vengeful and I'm gonna tell all. So, Mr. Principal or Miss Principal, I don't want to be presumptuous. To be fair, my high school principal was a guy, but my elementary school principal was a girl. So,
Same thing. Same.
there you go.
Yeah.
Did we go to the same place?
No.
So I'm like, Mr./Mrs. Principal or Miss, maybe she's not married.
Don't assume anything about you.
You know what? You might not even have, you may not go on a binary gender system. Principal. I'm never going to let this go. Principal, are you aware that there is a class in your school where for half of it, people are just playing fucking video games? Bring it all down. Burn this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Salt the earth.
Yeah.
The crops will never grow again. This man did not give me an A. He will never give a grade again. No. I did not care enough about my grades in high school to do that.
Well, it was the only thing that was like bringing me down.
If I were where you were,
yeah,
I would have been pissed. This stupid fucking class that abandoned its concept halfway through is bringing down my really good GPA.
Yeah.
And in junior year, that's an
an important fucking year.
That was the point. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'd have been pissed. Okay, so now we know. Chase, what school did you go to? Just give away all of your personal information. So
I can say, I mean, it's not. I went to Loyola High School.
Oh, no,
which is actually sense. No, it shouldn't make sense because that's a really good school.
It all
just
makes
that
sense
one
now.
class.
What a shitty high school.
That
Loyola
was. It's
high
a
school.
really good school,
I know it is.
and I really recommend that school.
That high school.
Yeah, but like
for all of our parental listeners
Yeah.
that are trying to figure out. Oh no, no, sit down.
No, I don't.
So Bella has decided to not be our secretive fourth member and is trying to raise a ruckus to get out of the room.
It's because it's her cheese time.
What the fuck? Is there a time every day when you give Bella cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad started that.
Why?
I
To be fair,
don't know.
I foolishly started a thing with my mom's cat to get him back inside the house, or give him treats every time when he goes outside. When I want him back inside, I give him treats. So now he just insists. Whatever. We're talking about random shit right now. It doesn't matter if Bella raises a fuss. I don't care, girl. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, Loyola High School, really good school. That
just don't take the robotics class
don't.
if Teacher X is still there.
I don't think he's still there. Well, actually, he might still be there. But I mean, overall,
if you're listening to this podcast, Mr. Teacher, look, I understand that you probably want to give varying scores in your class where you stopped giving a shit for your robotics and let people just play video games. But don't. Because I imagine it looks really suspicious if everyone in your class has an A.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why he changes people's scores. And I'm like,
but
not me, motherfucker.
Fuck off. Maybe just do your goddamn job you're being paid for. Maybe you should just do that, or I will find you and I will beat you in Smash.
He he got one of the students to bring in their Wii U, and then that's what we played Smash on.
Okay.
And then,
okay, no. I think it's really important to note here. I think he's looking for the name of this teacher, but he did just write the name Andrew and Googled it.
Yeah.
So
get to the full thought.
Maybe we'll find him if we Google Andrew. He's there eventually. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but either way, he had the student bring in
looks like he's still there.
Their Wii U. And yeah, I guess he is still there.
Oh, that guy does look like a prick.
Over a break or something, he tried to convince him to leave it so that he could take it home, and because he actually just left his Wii U in the classroom. The student, and I guess he would the teacher would bring it home every night and have his child play it, have his son play it.
What the fuck?
This is really shady shit.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's time for we're gonna start branching out. We're making documentaries. The first one, we're gonna call it A Man Named Andrew. Nobody's gonna know what it means based on that title, so they're gonna be like, "What?" And it's gonna be a documentary all about this man and the damage he almost did to you.
Yeah,
it's gonna be highly, highly biased documentary. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
The entire middle portion is gonna be about how he's not even that good at video games.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the most important part of the entire argument against him.
It really pissed me off because he's a cool guy, but a cool guy
who's a prick.
Who's a prick.
Yeah, no, I know those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's like that cool uncle who's actually just a huge raging dick.
Yeah. And it's I loved all the rest of my teachers for the most part. They were all really intelligent, all really like good at what they did, and then I had this guy.
I had a lot of really good teachers. I had a couple not so good ones, but I was blessed with a lot of really good teachers throughout my schooling. Part of the reason I wanted to be a teacher, and then I realized, like, oh yeah, that's right, I hate school. I love learning. I hate school.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so
that was trailer talk.
that was trailer talk. Okay, so trailer talk, the Holy Triumvirate. God, that was quite a detour, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
That went away we never could have expected.
I didn't know if to talk.
Fuck you, Andrew.
Talk about that story.
All right, so that should be a thing too. Fuck you, Andrew.
Oh no.
Oh, we're so dumb. Okay, so what should we talk about first?
Probably the Sanic.
Okay.
Why'd you say it like that?
The Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Sanic. It's a meme.
So,
It's a meme.
as I'm sure literally everybody on Earth knows, the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer dropped.
Oh, I'm sure everyone on Earth knows that. Because everyone's so impressed with Sonic.
I mean, he looks amazing.
Oh my
Like
god.
those teeth are so realistic.
Oh my god, they're too realistic.
Okay, like long story short, this movie's gonna be hot fucking garbage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just there's no two ways around
How
it.
did they get Jim Carrey to sign on to that?
Like, here's my deal. It's like, didn't Jim Carrey just stop doing movies?
I think he would have been better off to stop.
And this is what he came back for? The only reason
he's carrying the whole movie, bro.
I mean, is he, or is he also gonna be bad?
Oh.
Look, because like you would never in a million years in this trailer know he was Dr. Robotnik until like that final shot where he kind of looks like Dr. Robotnik.
I mean, I
No, I don't care if Bella's barking. I'm gonna keep talking. No,
I guess.
no, none of it. Okay,
He's a doctor. I'm like, okay, he has to be Dr. Robotnik.
Okay, no. Obviously, through contextual clues, he's Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
But
I totally forgot what Dr. Robotnik looked like until the end scene. I'm like, oh, this
nothing
is what,
like Jim
this must
Carrey.
be what he looks like. I don't remember. And then
Yeah.
I see it. I'm like, oh, what the fuck was he before?
a normal dude. So what is this, like his
Normal.
evolution of like complete mental breakdown trying to hunt Sonic until he becomes that which he despises? I don't know.
That seems kind of what it looks like. Yeah.
I mean, if that were the movie, it'd probably be a better movie. But no, it's probably just gonna be something real dumb, and he's gonna get like electrocuted, and then he's like, "I'm crazy."
He's gonna fall into a vat of acid.
Oh no, he's gonna become Joker.
Yeah. But it's weird because like his character seems good / evil. Like,
oh, no, okay,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like is Sonic the bad guy in
How
this
was Sonic the
situation?
bad guy? He just ran a lot and he accidentally knocked out with some power or whatever. And they're like,
In
"We
the
need to end the hedgehog."
in the whole like Pacific Northwest.
Whatever, just some power.
He killed babies, man.
You killed.
Have you seen that?
No.
It's like someone did the math, and it's like if all of the electricity was knocked out in the Pacific Northwest, like the electricity like that's provided to babies in like neonatal care.
Okay, you know those places have backup generators, right?
I don't know.
I feel like that's the flaw in this person's entire. They did a lot of math, and they forgot about the concept of backup generators.
I guess.
Okay, thanks Sanic for killing a bunch of babies.
Jeez, I didn't think you were gonna go there.
You went there. Look,
Hey, we did go back to death.
this is the episode about death. The one about death. That's what this episode's title will be.
Oh god.
No. Yeah. So, that movie's an
No, okay.
I'm gonna rate it on the Kyle scale. Out of maybe.
But why does he look like a fucking toddler in pajamas?
Wait, are you telling me is that CGI? Did they not just get a toddler in pajamas? I thought that's what they were gonna do to say like cut costs. No,
yeah.
he looks like a fucking horrifying monster. And I think we all rejoiced a little when they were like, "We're gonna go back to the drawing board and redesign him and fix him, and it'll be better." But actually, when you think about it, I probably just screwed over some animators' lives for like the next 6 months.
That like is annoying how he looks.
Oh no, he looks atrocious. Here's the thing. Like literally the animators who designed him, I mean, this is on them, but they're probably going to, I doubt they're going to push the release date of this movie back. So these people are probably going to be working like hella crazy hours here trying
for hot garbage.
Trying to fix something that's still going to be awful. Like, I'm not saying he'll look awful. I don't know why they didn't make him just look like a fucking, like he does in the game. Is that so hard?
Like there was a mock-up of like someone's like reimagining of it. It's like, why don't you just go with like how he should look? How like his body shouldn't be that long. His legs like should be shorter. Like overall should be shorter and more like rounded rather than like a fucking toddler.
It's not like you're adapting a character who only existed in like the Sega Genesis games. Like we have seen him in high quality CG animation and like in video games and shit.
Yeah.
We know what he should look like. That's why this is so egregious. It's not like a book where they're adapting a book and there was a character and like, this isn't how I imagined him, but I guess. It's like, this looks so fundamentally different than Sonic does. How did you get a team of people? Because this is not a one person like threw something on the screen and they're like, I guess we're running with this for the trailer.
I don't know.
This was like, this was created by a committee. And no one in that committee is like, but why did we? And why shouldn't we do better? The fact remains, it's going to be a terrible movie. Why do we care so much?
Because Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I guess because there's literally something coming out this weekend that can prove it better. Next up on our list, It Chapter 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
That dropped today.
Yes, it did. I spent like 5 minutes at work watching that thing when I should have probably been a little bit productive, but I don't think anybody even fucking noticed that was gone. We were so slow today.
Yeah. But It Chapter 2 picks up 27 years after It, the first chapter.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1, yeah.
It.
I mean,
the first chapter.
They just called it It, right?
They just called it It, but retroactively, It Chapter 1.
Yeah. That's 2017 It?
Yes.
Yeah. That was 2 years ago.
That's a good movie.
That was a good movie.
It's not scary.
No, I'll say it's one of the only horror movies that I've seen multiple times, and due to it not being scary.
Yeah, it's not really that scary. It's a great movie full of really great performances, and it just did not scare me much at all.
Yeah, I mean, I got jump scared.
I mean, okay,
but
this is gonna be my soapbox for a second here.
Soapbox.
Jump scares are not horror; they are a fight or flight response your body goes through when something jumps at you, makes a loud noise, or something that startles you. That's not horror. Anyone could do that. I could walk up behind somebody today and apparently fucking subject them to a horror movie because they'll just go, and they'll jump. And I'm like, you've been scared.
No, it's not a movie unless you film it. So if you film that happening,
I guarantee it'll probably get filmed and go on like fucking Facebook or I don't know, wherever the kids do things today.
TikTok.
It'll go on TikTok. Come back around, TikTok.
No.
That is not horror. And the fact that so many horror movies rely on that shit pisses me the fuck off.
That's annoying, yeah.
I still remember, I'm not going to, rant about this for long. I promise. I know every other time I say I'm not going to do something for long, it turns into, an hour-long diatribe. But
or a 2.5 hour long summary.
Shut the fuck up. You were complicit.
Mm-hmm.
I know I dragged you along, but you were complicit. So, look, I know people have issues with, the Babadook, but there's a scene in that movie that just... It's fine. I'm sure you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
I'm sure you haven't. I wasn't expecting you to. There's a scene in that movie where, the main character, she looks out across her neighbor's house, and there's just, sitting behind her neighbor who's watching TV, you can just see the Babadook just, standing over the neighbor. And it just pans to the shot, and it just kind of leaves that on screen for you to go, oh, fuck. No loud noise.
Yeah.
No nothing.
I like that better.
That's way more scary.
Yeah.
It's the shit that the movie isn't
loud and it flashes at you.
It's when you realize it and you put the pieces together and it's just on screen and it's in frame and it just waits for you to notice. Oh, that's the best.
Or it's some things that people don't notice and then maybe on a second watch or someone points it out to them what?
Yep. That's the shit that fucks with you. That's part of the reason A Haunting in Hill House, they had all those hidden ghosts. Now, I noticed fucking none of those things.
Really?
But I know people are like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. I'm like, I think I'm watching on a too dark TV here. Because I saw one the entire time I watched the show. But psychologically and subconsciously, your body's kind of picking up on that. There's weird stuff going on constantly throughout the stuff. And it just unsettles you. Horror should unsettle you. And you should walk away from it going fuck, man.
Yeah.
You shouldn't walk away from it going Well, that was a thing I watched, I guess.
That was like La Llorona for me.
Yeah, I was startled
And
a
the
few
nun?
times.
Well, I mean, with the nun, like the scene of her like down the dark hallway with just like her eyes going,
Yeah.
like that haunted me for a while.
Yeah, because that's like good horror filmmaking inside of a bad movie.
Yeah, that okay. Every time I walk down my hallway in my house, like for a while after that, I was like, oh fuck.
Okay, so now
Or anytime
here-
I see like a dark hallway, like it's long, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yep. So in that same universe, talk about the first Conjuring. You want to talk about a scene that builds horror, the clapping scene. It's iconic. It's so iconic they basically just used it as their first trailer. That is such a fucking scary scene because it's just, you know, it's building to something. And you know what it's going to be, but you don't know when it's going to happen. And it is not a jump scare. It feels like it should be a jump scare when you describe it to somebody, but there's no like loud chord.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. It just like right next to her face. Those hands just pop out of fucking nowhere. And you're just like, fuck. It's just so good because, again, I know you haven't seen this movie.
Know.
The first Conjuring is a great movie. There's a reason there's a whole fucking connected universe built on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a good movie, and that's the best scene in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, that scene messed me up because as a child, I could have swore I could have heard that kind of stuff in my house.
Oh.
And that reawoken that memory in me. So like the night, because I watched it at night and then I went to bed, but it was dark and I was like, oh shoot, I hear stuff.
Okay, so the clapping game, essentially, that they play in that, if I remember all the rules correctly, is like one person wears a blindfold. And it's
like a great game already.
Yeah, and it's like a game essentially of like hide and seek, except you call out like clap, and the person you're looking for has to clap.
That unsettles me already.
Yes. And so you have the mom looking for her daughter, trying to find her. And then she's like, clap, and you hear. First of all, there's like the scene with like, you know, the daughter isn't in the wardrobe, but you see a pair of hands come out of the wardrobe and clap. But then like later, there's a moment where like she's down in the basement, and she has like a lighter because that's her only source of light, and she's trying to find her daughter. And then like just as the lighter's about to go out, you just see a pair of hands go right next to the lighter, and just oh, it's fucking awesome. Oh, that movie's so good. And it's such a basic story. It's literally just house is haunted, like family being terrorized. That's it. But it's just done so well. And the characters are so good that you're like, this is just a good movie. And this is the end of my horror talk. It Chapter 1, not a good horror movie, but a good movie.
Yeah.
Good performances, lovable characters. You care about them, even if you're not scared by the scenarios that they're in.
Yeah.
And like, even though you basically know they're all going to make it out of this okay, because you know about the existence of the adult section of the book, but you still care because you love those kids and the interactions they have with each other. Like, those kids hold up that movie, and not discounting at all Pennywise and that stuff, which is also good. It's unsettling, but it's not scary. Like, still, that scene where he like contorts and twists his way out of the fridge. And like does his slow, like dramatic walk up and stuff. Oh, it's good. Yeah. So It Chapter 2. Most of the trailer dedicated to the scene where Beverly goes back to her old house.
Old Beverly.
Yes. Older Beverly, played by oh my god, my brain.
Jessica Chastain?
Yes, Jessica Chastain.
Okay.
Yeah, they just linger on this scene. It's an iconic scene in the book. It's very unsettling. I can't remember the lady's name.
Yeah, she's fucking weird.
Yes. But just, Pennywise tormenting the kids. Now they're not kids anymore. I really hope this movie holds up to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been as big a fan of the adult section of the book. And when you watch like the miniseries, the kid part is really good and the adult part is just fucking hot garbage.
Ooh, we'll see how this goes then.
But they have really good actors playing the kids.
Yeah, they do.
Now that they're adults. Like, it's a great cast.
Jessica Chastain. They have that dude.
That dude.
Dude from Split.
I
was gonna say Switch. I don't know why. What's his name?
James
James
McAvoy.
McAvoy. Yeah. Bill Hader.
Yes, Bill Hader also. As Richie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just got a really good cast. And I hope it works out well. But that section of the book is just, they're just weird is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes across as odd. But not in like I feel like this is supposed to be way. Just like, this is the parts where you can really feel that cocaine running through Stephen King's brain.
Okay.
Oh no, like there are large chunks of that book he doesn't remember writing because of all the cocaine. Like that's it's funny. It's not a joke.
It's funny. It's sitting right there on the shelf.
Cocaine?
No, it. It cocaine. No, Stephen King.
No, cocaine. Yeah. But I am still excited because I have hope.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first one was really good, way better than it probably had any right to be. Hopefully this continues that. And I know they brought back the kids for like other scenes. I feel like they're gonna like milk those kids as much as they can because they know how emotionally attached we were to those actors. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I know some of them have gone on to do more things. What was, I don't remember his name. The one with the mom.
They all have moms.
You know which one I mean.
You're talking about. Damn it, we just had this conversation a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to point out, and I totally forget. I'm blanking on his name and what movie that was just came out.
It was in Shazam.
Oh yeah, Shazam.
That's right. The kid who played. I haven't seen this in just too long.
Jack?
No.
Dylan Grazer?
Oh, maybe the kid's name?
What's the character's name?
He played Eddie, right?
Eddie, thank you. Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I loved Eddie. Yeah, we were looking. There's the character name that we were trying to figure out. I wasn't going to know the actor's name.
Oh, my bad.
I loved Eddie.
And Finn Wolfhard.
Really obviously, yes.
Yeah. Great.
They're gazebos. I've always loved that line.
I don't remember that line.
You don't remember that line?
Remember that line.
It's when he finds out that the pills his mom was putting him on were placebos.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I know these. They're gazebos.
That's hilarious.
You'd forgotten about it entirely.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Those kids have gone on. Some of them have, at least.
Some
of them I haven't seen. The girl who plays Beverly. She was really good.
She was Nancy Drew.
Was she?
Yeah,
the newest
new
one.
one.
Oh.
That totally went under the radar and no one saw.
I didn't even know that came out. I didn't know there was a thing.
It wasn't playing?
No.
Played for us.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You have 2 more theaters than we do, like screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm confident we did not get that movie. We probably did.
Yeah.
I'm just in kitchen so much anymore. I don't even know what happens.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it chapter 2.
Yeah.
High hopes.
High hopes.
Mm-hmm.
But the big one I think we got to talk about.
Ooh.
Trailer number 2.
I'm rubbing my 2?
Yes, this is the second trailer for Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you meant second in our list.
Trailer number 2 for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Ooh.
As Tom Holland himself says right before the trailer, Endgame spoilers will follow. So if you haven't seen Endgame, well, I guess fuck you, right? Because we're talking about it.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Endgame by this point, how?
Look, how?
I mean,
and also, well, at this point, if you want to know everything that happens in Endgame, you can just watch our fucking last episode of the podcast.
Yeah, go by play-by-play.
Play-by-play of that movie. I'm sorry.
Good breakdown, I feel.
I mean, it was a good breakdown. I just don't know if anybody's ready for it. I guess what helps them versus you guys is that they can see that it's a 2-hour and 20-minute video. You guys had no idea what you were walking into.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know how long that was going to go.
Yeah, neither did I, to be fair. I thought that was not going to take anywhere near as long.
Yeah. But Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Actually, that is what I was going to mention.
I think it's worth mentioning, but
yeah.
But no.
Before we get there.
Tony Stark is dead.
Yeah.
And then you forget it.
Yeah. That's
I know you just cried about it like a week or 2 ago. Cry about it more. He's still dead.
Mm-hmm. And Nick Fury is trying to reach. I was going to say Tom Holland.
I know. Are we all trying to reach Tom Holland?
Peter Parker.
Spider-Ham?
Yeah, Peter Parker. But he's going on a trip.
He's going on a trip. So he's gonna ghost
with all his friends.
He's gonna ghost Nick Fury.
Yep.
And they're going all over the place. I guess when your class, like half of your high school class, doesn't exist for 5 years.
Yeah.
I guess the vacation budget just really goes up.
We'll see how they do that.
Oh no, it's been talked about. So no, yeah. According to an insider, like 50% of all the Earth's population are dead, and 100% of all of Peter Parker's friends.
Wow, that seems convenient.
I'm pretty sure Sony's just like, fuck you, Disney. We didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. Yeah, but it looks like this is a trailer that really did it for me. Because the first trailer, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to see it, obviously. Because
Yeah, I mean,
it's a Marvel movie. I have to see it. It looks good. It has Tom Holland, who's probably the best Spider-Man. And that's a hot take. It's not really a hot take. Everyone thinks that.
Not everybody thinks that, but I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. But this is the trailer that made me excited for it.
Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of the same way. I was like, oh, Far From Home. I liked Homecoming. I'm down for more Spider-Man. This is kind of a weird take that the second movie is like a freaking world-hopping adventure, but okie dokie. And then it's like, oh, and I guess Mysterio is like, okay, okie dokie.
Well, I mean, they didn't really say anything about like the only thing with Mysterio was like
there was that scene towards the end. He's like,
no, in this one, yeah.
No, okay, this one, yes, but I'm saying in the first trailer.
He was saying like you don't want any part of this, something like that. Like,
yeah, and
he was
the
only dialogue he had with him, and it wasn't hostile or anything. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're not hostile towards each other yet or something. I didn't know where he'd stand if he was a bad guy. I assumed that he was the bad guy.
Yeah, okay, but then the very next, like, that final shot was him like fighting the monster that Peter had been fighting.
Yeah,
and so I think it led you to believe that they were like allies, and you're like, oh, weird. But then we get this trailer, and we get answers that give many new questions. Open. Now, that being said, I don't think they played their whole hand here, but
no.
So yeah, eventually, Peter's going all over the world, and Nick Fury tracks him down, tranks Ned.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a hard man to find, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Find out that Nick Fury is working with Quentin Beck, Mysterio, who is from another fucking like alternate reality.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That is.
And the funny part, Spider-Man's like, well, why can't you get Captain Marvel? It's like, well, she's off world. Why can't you get?
It's actually
Thor.
Thor's off world.
Thor's
Captain
off
Marvel,
world.
she's busy.
She's busy.
Yeah, I don't feel like Captain Marvel's ever going to come when anybody calls ever again.
Yeah, I know. It's like the whole time Spider-Man's like, why don't you call the Avengers? Nick Fury's like, bitch, you are the Avengers.
No, it's what it is. It's like, but I'm a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Bitch, you've been in space. Yeah, but yeah, so we basically find out that apparently Quentin Beck, his world got all devastated, and the snaps ripped open a hole through the multiverse, essentially. Yeah.
Convenient, maybe.
Right? Yeah. So apparently he is a hero from his world who's coming to help us put down like all these elemental threats or whatever.
I'm kind of glad with that because Jake Gyllenhaal, I feel like
I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. He's not actually. He's still going to be the villain in this movie. I promise you.
Maybe
he's going to be a twist villain, which is ironically not a twist because he's a fucking villain in the comics.
I guess.
If he ends up not being a villain in this movie, I will be shocked as hell. Because they're actually just going to have the villains be all these elemental monsters that they're fighting all over the world.
Well, maybe not that.
I feel like he's... Okay, look, I feel like the multiverse thing is real.
Yeah.
But I feel like Quentin Beck is just still himself, just a dude who's like gotten this like tech or whatever, but he's using this and he's like creating these elemental monsters or whatever, or some way utilizing this to become a hero, to be like get all these accolades and stuff, but he's like a really shitty guy and he's trying to get something out of it.
Maybe.
But basically he is the mentor figure for Peter in this movie, and that'll be interesting. Because they've confirmed that. Like, that is their relationship. It's like mentor-mentee. Because, you know, Peter's still looking for a mentor because he just lost his.
Mentee?
Yeah.
Mentory?
I'm not the only person that said this word before.
I don't know.
It's a mentor-mentee relationship. Is it a real word? I don't know, but it's
sad.
sad.
It doesn't sound real.
Hey,
but
you know what? Mentees,
yeah,
Mentos, the fresh maker, like, let it go.
That's also big because it was assumed, like, based on the trailer previously, that Nick Fury was taking on that kind of...
I wouldn't want Nick Fury as a mentor.
His mentor. That would be funny. But it seems that Mysterio is now. And it seems that a lot of what is, like, the importance placed on Peter Parker in this movie is he wants to become that new Iron Man. Okay,
so I don't know about that. So that's definitely one way to interpret it. That like there's
what he said.
No, it's not actually. Two people mentioned, so you're going to be the new Iron Man. Neither of them are him.
Really?
Yes. So the first time
wasn't he
no.
said that like the
no. I can tell you exactly both times that it's brought up that the world needs a new Iron Man. Is brought up right at the beginning of the trailer when the cop says it. It's like, oh, you're going to be the new Iron Man? And he's like, no, I'm too busy doing all your jobs.
Yeah.
And then the second time, Nick Fury brings it up.
All right.
but it's on him, and it's like, it seems to be sending a message. What I think the message of this movie is going to be is is exact opposite of what you just said.
Mm.
So I feel like Peter is going to feel pressure from all over to become the next Iron Man. And some people are like, oh, well, that's going to be the message of the movie. And by the end, it's basically just going to be like fucking Iron Man Jr. This is terrible.
Iron Man Jr.
But I think the exact opposite is going to happen. I think this movie is about proving to Peter why he is special and and shouldn't just be a replacement for Iron Man.
That makes sense too.
I think that's a much better narrative.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man is special for the reasons that he is special. He is not special because he is Tony Stark's replacement.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, that's kind of meta in regards that the MCU was looking for its next like Tony Stark-esque figure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be Peter. And that's okay. He doesn't need to be that. That's not who Peter is. Like, especially with, his age in this. He's still in fucking high school. Like,
yeah.
That's a lot to ask for a fucking high school kid. No matter how smart he might be, no matter how much he is Spider-Man.
Yeah. However, he is that in the Spider-Verse movie.
Yes.
Like the Spider-Man before Miles Morales, his mentor. He really
Chris Pine.
Yeah, he really is that figure of
yes.
like in that world. And it's very interesting and very convenient that there is this new mention of the multiverse. And did you see the Spider-Verse Twitter account tweeted?
No, I missed this.
Yeah, they tweeted around the time of this trailer, like see you in the Spider-Verse or some shit like that.
Yeah. I think it would be insane if they don't tie this together in some way.
Yeah.
Because of course they want to do that.
That would make it fucking amazing. Okay. It's like that opens like a lot of possibilities. Mm-hmm. It opens up like possibly introducing Miles Morales into the MCU.
I mean, technically Miles Morales is already in the MCU.
Right. Oh, well, is Miles Morales himself in the MCU?
We have not seen him.
Yeah, but we've seen...
but we met the Prowler.
Yeah.
Uncle Aaron.
Who played him? Was it...
It was Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
His name escapes me, even though I fucking love him.
Donald Glover?
Donald Glover. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not Danny Glover, which somebody said. Well, I'm like, that's a totally different actor.
Yeah. Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover was Uncle Aaron.
Mm-hmm. But we haven't seen Miles Morales yet.
But he did mention he has a nephew in the neighborhood.
I feel like that was kind of more fan servicey than like...
I think it was a wink and a nudge, but it was also setting it up because also, bear in mind, it's been 5 years. That nephew is older. Yeah. A little bit older, a little bit more ready for some Spider-Maning.
That's true.
Like, I mean, you need to understand, like, that 5-year time jump was not an accident.
Yeah.
We are going to be getting characters, like the next generation of heroes
who were
coming
too
up.
Young before.
Yes. Like, Cassie is going to become a more central character in new Ant-Man movies because she is a hero in the comics. They just need to age her up.
Well, so was what's her name in Captain Marvel?
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring that up, and she's much older now because she was a little girl in the '90s, and so fucking don't remember her name, but yeah, her best friend's daughter, whose name totally escapes me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn it, we're bad. But yes,
well, Captain Trouble. That was a nickname, yeah.
Yeah, but I can't remember her either her character name or her superhero name.
Yeah,
Monica Rambeau, something.
That was her name, right? Monica Rambeau?
I don't remember if I'm right or not, or if I just shot in the dark. Well, I think it's close.
Sure, I think so, because her mom's name was like Maria Rambeau, and so like her daughter's name was Monica.
I don't remember. Again, can't promise this.
Yes,
but
but that gives a lot more room for characters to grow up and fill in some shoes or make some
masks,
new shoes,
or buy some masks. It always fits eventually.
Yes. Oh, Stan Lee. But there
no returns.
No returns. But they're also oh man, that movie in the moment was amazing, honestly. Yep. But it also opens it up to possibly have an in for the X-Men.
Okay, yes. This is an easy in for both the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
And Deadpool.
I don't think there's a chance in hell that Deadpool is going to cross over into these movies. Now, are there funny ways to do this? Yes. Just imagine a whole Deadpool movie where he's pissed that he keeps getting bleeped out. Because Disney is not going to let him swear in an Avengers film. But
that would be hilarious.
Yes, but I feel like Deadpool works best in small doses or in his own stuff.
Yeah.
So like I can see it being like a short little adventure with Deadpool in the middle of like one of these crossover films, but it's not like he's going to be like front and center, or just have. I think we're at the point in comics. Somebody had mentioned this before, like a YouTuber I listen to, where we're at the point now, far enough in this, where you start having really weird team up movies, kind of like what Thor Ragnarok kind of ended up being with like Thor and Hulk.
Hulk, yeah.
Like imagine when we start getting movies like fucking
MIB is like Hulk and Thor and Valkyrie.
I mean,
sorry.
Yes. But we're kind of at the point to where like we might be able to get like, okay, and coming up in 2022, you have Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. It's like, oh, cool, interesting.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man and Deadpool makes sense. That's a thing.
Yes, that is a thing. But
I don't know if that's gonna be a thing.
I mean, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange both live in the same city. Like, it's not like they don't ever work together or interact either.
Yeah. That'd be funny, though. It was like based on their interactions in Infinity War.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, but that's the thing. All these characters basically know each other now.
Yeah.
That's why Asgardians of the Galaxy is such a potentially exciting notion.
Yeah.
I hope it's Asgardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I swear to God, that would be amazing. But this trailer took what was kind of just like another MCU movie that they said was like, and this is the end of Phase 3. And made it feel like it's kind of like an epilogue / prologue for what's to come.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier to introduce new things.
Yes.
With the time jump from Endgame and with the multiverse theory.
Yep.
It's like they can introduce so many things and have an excuse.
Yeah.
It's
and
totally plausible.
Yeah, it makes sense.
A lot of sense.
The world
financially, it makes a lot of sense.
The universe got all sorts of fucked up by what happened in the last two Avenger movies. All sorts of fucked up. It makes sense that there are ramifications for that, especially if, there are no Infinity Stones in the universe. Like, shit gets bad, and we know that. Like, all of a sudden, Galactus can start wrecking shop.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there are a lot of awesome possibilities moving forward. That being said, I actually do not think they're going to play the X-Men hand very soon.
Probably not.
I think they're going to hold it back for probably most of Phase 3.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like introducing the X-Men will be a big thing in Phase 3. Or like in Phase 4, right towards the end. I feel like we're going to get Fantastic Four before we get X-Men. That's what I would do if I were them. Because the X-Men are, they have that in their back pocket. Everybody knows who the X-Men are.
Yeah. But for Fantastic Four, a lot of like what we know about Fantastic Four is, well, at least the movies was Doctor Doom.
Yep.
If they introduce Doctor Doom as like a new, like overarching villain, that would make a lot of sense too.
Mm-hmm. I want them to do the smart thing in these movies, and they don't really do it much. I want them to introduce a fucking villain not as the villain of the movie they're introduced in.
How so?
Imagine, just imagine that, yes, in that first Fantastic Four movie, there's Doctor Doom. And he's there, but he's not the villain of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he is there for, like, the experiment. He's all this other stuff, like, tying him into their story, but he's not the central villain of the movie. And, like, he's built up to be kind of like this wasn't done super well, but kind of imagine, like, the same role that, like, Harry Osborn has in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
Where, like, he eventually becomes a villain. I'm not saying, like, fucking Victor Von Doom is always evil.
Yeah.
But it's more about, not using him as the central antagonist right away. Like, imagine it was the same thing I thought they were going to do with The Dark Knight. I think a lot of people thought they were going to do with The Dark Knight. Where, like, while Joker was the central villain of that movie, they were, like, building up Two-Face to probably be the villain of the next one.
Yeah.
That's what I think everyone thought they were doing. And then they just, oh, no, he's Two-Face in this movie. Okay, and he's dead.
Yep. That's what I thought they were doing that too.
Yeah, I think everybody thought they were doing that.
Yeah.
That's why it worked when you're like, oh, shit, never mind. It's just a long movie.
Like, starting him out as not a villain.
Not even not a villain, just not as the villain.
Well, I was they kind of did with Thanos in the background.
Kind of. I'm more thinking, like, just imagine a scene where it's just like, oh, God damn it, somebody's in, like, the Latvian embassy. Fuck. We got to get him. And, like, while they're trying to sneak in, there's, like, fucking King Doom, President Doom. Yeah. I don't remember how he rules Latveria, but is he a president? Is he a king? Is he Emperor Von Doom?
I don't know.
I don't know that well enough. But yeah, and then, like, he's there for a visit, and you, like, there's, like, a scene where, like, they introduce him, even just like that, where it's just like, build the universe, have it feel bigger.
Yeah.
Than it is, because, like, it gets so weird that you're just like, and this is our villain, and we just met him, and now we're dealing with him, and now he's gone. Especially, you have a plan. It's very clear that Marvel has a fucking plan. Mm-hmm. They can play the long game here, but they don't. Why not? I'm done tirading. So, Far From Home. I cannot wait to see this movie, and I'm very glad I don't have to wait long.
July, right?
July. It is May now.
2 months?
2 months. It's like almost exactly 2 months. It's like early July, I think.
Super excited for that.
Yep, me too.
We'll see where it leads us. Because they're going to set, like, in this movie, they will set up things for future movies.
100%.
100%.
I think they knew they could get away with not doing that in Endgame because this was so close.
They didn't do shit in Endgame. They didn't, like, there's no end credit scene, no mid credit scene. I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
They were concerned with tying up their loose ends and not building for the future.
Yep.
And that was honestly probably the right choice for that movie.
Probably was.
Because I think we were all expecting...
way too much if we like set up more stuff.
Yes. I think we were all expecting an Avengers 1-esque thing where it's like starts teasing the next villain at the end of this. It was the right choice not to do that.
Yeah. Well, because Thanos is like the villain of up until now.
Yes.
So why even bother? Like right at the end of that whole arc, like new villain. Like, not yet.
So yeah, I think they're going to go focusing on a lot of younger, newer characters.
New Avengers?
I think so. I think they are. I mean, what's the Avengers team now?
We don't have Steve Rogers. We don't have Romanoff.
We don't have Iron Man. We don't have Thor.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Pretty sure Clint's done. I know we've been saying that for a while, but I mean, I feel like his final bow is going to be the Hawkeye show with like the Kate Bishop thing.
Yeah. Who's left?
There's Hulk. And there's Rhodey.
There's Wanda.
And there's Wanda.
Is she even an Avenger?
I don't even know anymore.
I mean,
That's
like,
the thing.
It's like Captain Marvel's not an Avenger, really.
She's not.
Yeah.
I mean, she's there.
I mean, Wanda is definitely an Avenger, but I don't know if she's an active Avenger.
In this trailer, doesn't he like refer to Captain Marvel like as an Avenger or something? Like,
well, no, he's just like, isn't somebody else can handle this?
Yeah.
What about Thor?
Well,
He's off world. What about Captain Marvel? She's busy. It's like, yeah, I guess. Like, fucking girl's always busy.
Yeah.
It was interesting how it felt like they were, like, before Captain Marvel came out, it felt like they were building her up as, like, the next leader of the universe and whatever.
Yeah.
And it feels like she just doesn't give a fuck about anything going on, and she's busy. Well, not nothing, but she does not give a fuck about the shit going on Earth because she's busy everywhere else, which makes sense.
She's supposed to be Earth's mightiest hero and doesn't give a fuck about Earth.
Well, I mean, you know, she's busy.
Doing other shit.
Like, I'm not going to see you guys for a while.
Maybe she's like, well, Earth has you guys.
But I mean, yeah, she says that
She
in the
literally,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's actually one of the few not condescending lines that she says in the whole movie. She's like, because unfortunately, like, no one else has you. Yeah. She could have said that other ways that were much ruder. But it more came across as like, look, your shit's handled.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the galaxy has the Nova Corps.
They have
what have they accomplished?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
When do the Guardians of the Galaxy guard the galaxy? When they get
that
paid
one
too.
Time.
Yeah.
That one time in the first movie with
the dick picture. I mean, with the dick message.
Yeah.
He got my dick message.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't think Chase remembers this.
This is your favorite of the.
I think
Marvel
you're talking
movies.
about.
We're talking about the first Guardians.
Yeah. Are you talking about Ralph? Wreck-It Ralph?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's not I'm staring at James McAvoy's face. I forgot what's right in front of me.
You're not staring at
What?
James McAvoy's face.
Are you okay?
Is that not James McAvoy?
No.
I don't remember.
Chase?
Oh, it's Tom Hardy.
Yes, it is. So let the internet know that Chase confused James McAvoy and Tom Hardy.
He looks like James McAvoy.
No,
in that
he
picture,
does
a little
not.
bit.
Doesn't.
In that picture,
Not
even
even
a
a little
little.
bit. Okay, for anybody curious about the picture we're talking about, it's a Mad Max Fury Road poster.
Cut it all. Cut it all.
No, this stays.
We're not.
This stays. You are getting embarrassed on the internet for that foolish mistake. Watch Mad Max Fury Road before Wednesday when we post this, and we might cut it for you. You got time. It's Thursday.
I like how you say we.
I'm totally a part of this. Look, I'm the talent.
I'm the editor.
No, me saying I'm the talent means obviously I have no creative control. All right.
Anyway.
So we're now like an hour and 45 minutes into this podcast. Trailer Talk's over. We knew Trailer Talk was going to be a lot of this episode, but I don't think we expected the Andrew turn or the...
I forgot we even said that.
Okay, so I think we'll start with my topic today.
Start.
We're going to start with my topic an hour into this podcast.
We are an hour into this podcast.
I know. I can see that. I can't, but I can feel it in my bones. So,
in your jellies? Oh wait, you don't get that reference. You haven't seen Detective Pikachu. Sorry.
Pokemon. That is my topic.
It was your topic.
So my topic today is Pokemon. But more specifically, I'm going to weave a web, and then we're going to destroy it with a chainsaw.
Like a Spinnerack?
So,
is that a Pokemon?
yes, but I mean, no, but just like we're gonna move forward because Chase doesn't know Pokemon as well as I think he hopes he does.
No, not that much. No.
Yeah. Okay. So
what does it think is?
I mean, I knew that sentence wasn't going to come out right, so I just
what does it
I
have
leaned
in its
into it.
pockets?
I know, I just leaned into it and became Gollum for a minute. So I am 28 years old. That is basically the perfect fucking age for Pokemon.
Yeah.
I was in elementary school when these games came out, and when the show came out, and when this is all anyone my age gave a fuck about.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon was the shit. I owned both red and blue version. Like, you know, there were some that were exclusive to each.
Yeah.
And so I would borrow my friend's like Game Boy so I could use my link cable to connect.
Oh, link cable. I never used that.
So I could connect. Well, okay. So then also you have the Game Boy Colors, which had the stupid thing on top where if you put the two really close, they would kind of connect. And so you kind of make trades, but God forbid you like moved them.
I don't know. I didn't have any friends that had Game Boys besides myself.
Man. Good times. Good times. I've used that like one time ever. But yeah, so I like borrow a friend's Game Boy so I could use his link cable so I could transfer my Pokemon to me. Yeah, it was that game was the shit. And the show was the shit. Everything was the shit.
Everything was shit.
Now everything is shit.
Not everything.
So
I kind of like how it's going in a way.
Okay. So here, welcome to Hot Takes.
Oof.
With your host Kyle Grubb.
Yeah.
I kind of fucking hate Pokemon now.
Now? Well, okay. I don't think it's a hot take, really.
I do. Look, okay. There are people who like Gen 1ers.
Pocket monsters.
Like, Pokemon has never been better since Red or Blue. It's gone downhill from here, guys. And I'm like,
okay, Kermit.
That's not true. I mean, Silver and Gold are great games.
I started on Diamond.
Okay.
I liked it.
It's much later than I started.
Yeah.
What was that, Gen 4?
Yeah.
So we have Red and Blue, and Yellow. We have
and Yellow, whatever.
I'm not going to talk about like the third versions of each of these. And then we had Silver and Gold, which beat for beat, pound for pound, probably the most content in any Pokemon game. No.
Like most Pokemon or most content?
Most content.
Okay.
The word I said.
Okay, that makes more sense.
No, obviously not the most. Every new game has the most fucking Pokemon in it.
I think Gen 4 was the most before.
Before Gen 5?
Well, actually, I don't know if Gen 5 has more.
Yes, they had Pokemon every fucking game.
Well, okay, that's not the most new.
I didn't know we were even considering that.
That's how I think of it.
I'm pretty sure Silver and Gold added 100 new Pokemon.
Let's do some research. Continue talking.
Fact remains, for anybody who doesn't know, Silver and Gold, like you played through that entire region. And then after you got done with the region, you went back to the region from the first game and rebattled all of those gym leaders again. And it was awesome. It was basically the entire first game hidden in the second game. And then you went back to the second region and could rebattle all the gym leaders there for even more shit. And then you fought Red. Like the penultimate boss in that game, like the ultimate boss in that game is Red. Like your gym leader, like your player character from Red and Blue. And you battled him and he had his Pikachu and he had like a fucking Charizard and he had all the shit. And he was the hardest like battle and it was awesome. That was awesome. Those are my favorite games. I don't think they're the best. Those are my favorites.
See, I didn't get that reference. I saw Detective Pikachu yesterday, and someone was asking me, "Was that Red?" I'm like, I don't know.
Good job.
There might be a cameo. Look out for that.
I will definitely eventually see this movie.
Yeah.
Is your difficulty here that you're looking for Pokemon Generations and you keep finding information about Pokemon Generations?
Yeah.
Why not just literally... Okay, I don't get why people do this. Just Google the question, how many Pokemon were introduced in each generation? Like, am I crazy? Added in Gen 2. Okay, well, see, there we go. Boom! I was right, though. I didn't say it was the most, but I was right that there were 100 new Pokemon added into Gen 2.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, me.
There was 151 in the first one.
Obviously, everybody knows that.
And Gen 4 was 107.
There's 150 or more to see. To be
There's
a
actually,
Pokemon master is my
They're
destiny.
in Gen 7, 8 now?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
No, the most was Gen 3, which is 135.
Damn.
No, sorry, Gen 5, which is 156.
Damn. Wait, which ones were Gen 5? Which games? Black
and White. I
Okay.
played, that was like Snivy.
That makes sense.
And,
Black and White
I don't know,
makes...
I played Snivy, that's all I knew. Piplup?
Okay.
Was that in...
I don't fucking care. That makes sense, though, because if I recall, in Black and White, you didn't see any old Pokemon until post-game. I think that was that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm almost positive that was the one where they're like, we're going to show off all of our new Pokemon by having you only run into them until after you like beat the gyms.
Oh, maybe.
So it was all new Pokemon that you were dealing with until you got past that. Look, I don't know if I've just grown out of Pokemon because I have bought every generation of Pokemon. And I have not given a shit for the longest time, but I keep wanting to give a shit.
Yeah, I know. I want to give a shit, and then I play it, and I'm like, oh, this is fun, and then I just like stop, and I'm like, it's not that
fun. What eventually convinced me just to stop was Sun and Moon. I bought Moon.
Yeah, isn't that it's like 3D, right?
It was on the 3DS.
But it's like it's it's not top down.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Wait, which one?
Sword and Shield are still like.
Am I crazy? Because
yes.
No, it's. Oh wait, no.
That's a battle.
I feel like.
Look, either way, that doesn't matter. What matters here is that I couldn't get through that game, and by I couldn't get through that game, I mean I could not get through the beginning of that game.
Really?
There's like a period where it's like, walk over here, talk to this person, cutscene. Walk over here. Oh, no, you can't go there. You need to walk over here. Walk over here. Talk to this person. Cutscene. Walk over here. I'm just like, I haven't had control over my character in an hour. It's like one of the first towns you go to, and I got so mad at the game that I didn't want to play it anymore. I guess it's kind of more behind you.
Yeah.
I didn't play the game enough for it to really sink in.
Yeah.
Look, there were things about that game that seemed really cool. I like some of the ideas. That game pissed me the fuck off, and I just totally abandoned it. I still own it, though.
Yeah, I own Moon.
I probably should have owned Moon because I play games a lot at night. So then I could have gotten on the day Pokemon. But I don't know. I keep wanting to care about Pokemon because I keep having these like treasured childhood memories. But I think it's become abundantly clear to me that these games are just not for me anymore, and I just don't give a shit. Like, I love RPGs. They're my favorite genre of game. And as much as some people claim they hate RPGs and they love Pokemon, Pokemon are fucking RPGs, obviously. But I don't know. I feel like there's this weird gap in Pokemon where Pokemon is super simplistic until it's needlessly complicated. Like, there is a point where you hop because you are either a base level Pokemon player, which would be me 100%, where you just play the games, you catch Pokemon that you feel like catching. You might try and catch a lot. I just kind of catch the Pokemon that catch my eye. You build a team. Obviously, you know, like the weaknesses and shit, so you try and be smart about it. And then you just play Pokemon. And then there's the people with like the fucking like hidden values and the IVs and the fucking shit, like the EVs and you're catching specific Pokemon and battling specific Pokemon against them to get like certain like stat boosts and like, all this shit. I'm like,
how?
Fuck no. Like, I remember in my time where I'd be like, I have a level 99 Charizard and also some cool Pokemon, and my friend also has Pokemon, and we're going to fight them, and I got my link cable, and we're fighting Pokemon. Oh, man, that was fun. Now it's like, anytime I try and battle anybody in a Pokemon fight, they're like, you don't understand. I've spent 14 hours building my perfect team, making sure they only battle the specific Pokemon so that my stats could be perfectly set up. I needed to make sure I caught 37 of these Pokemon until I found the one with the correct personality. And then I'm just like, oh, yeah, I just caught a Pokemon, bro.
Yeah.
I clearly don't belong here. I've never felt so gatekeeped out of a fucking children's video game.
Yeah.
And so it's like there are two different levels of Pokemon, and I feel like I don't belong in either of them. Because the base game is too simplistic for me, and the high level play is I just don't have time for that shit.
Yeah, I think Diamond was the first one I played, but no, Ruby was the first one I played. Barely at all. It was my stepbrother's. I played it for like a week or something.
It's too much water.
Yeah, I can't remember that much about it.
Okay, never mind. That became a meme.
But then I got like a DSi or some shit. I don't remember. I got black and white.
You and your DSi.
I got black. Yeah, and then I started playing that one.
Once you get black, you never go back.
and then I played Diamond, and that's what the one I think. I don't know which one I played more of, honestly, between Diamond or Black, but I distinctly remember just going through it, catching Pokemon, and I would always be so annoyed with the forced battles. Oh, it fucking annoyed me. It really annoyed me too, just walking through high grass and fucking getting ambushed by wild Pokemon. That's like a basic mechanic, but it fucking annoyed me.
So random battles, not a fan of these at all for Chase.
Yeah. But then getting into the end game got too hard for me. I'm like, I can't do this.
I'd just like to point out though, the worst thing on earth is walking through a shitload of high grass, and the very last square of grass you have to go through triggers a Pokemon battle.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I was almost through.
All right. So the one thing that brought back my there are two things really that kind of temporarily resurrected my love of Pokemon. One was Twitch Plays Pokemon, which was probably the funniest thing I've ever experienced in my entire fucking life.
I'm not familiar.
Do you don't know about Twitch Plays Pokemon?
Nope.
So some guy basically created an emulator that ran Pokemon, I think Blue. But the thing was, they put it on Twitch and they programmed it to where it was controlled by the people entering in commands in Twitch.
That sounds terrible. It was funny.
It was glorious. So it took them, I think, 11 days to beat the game. But so it would just, in order that people put commands in, just do the orders.
Okay.
You can see how the problem would be. How do they accomplish anything?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking they're glitching around.
It kind of was that in the beginning. But I mean, you need to understand, at its peak, you would have 2,500 people all participating in this.
Oh, man.
I think actually more than that at its peak. But a lot of people would just watch because this was gold.
Seems like a clusterfuck.
It is the best clusterfuck, Chase. Eventually they needed to, because they got stuck in one part of the game for a solid 2 days because they couldn't navigate out of it. So they created a system where it was anarchy versus democracy, where anarchy was just the classic way of going around where you just do every command. Democracy was, I think it was every 30 seconds they would do one action, and it's whatever had the most votes essentially.
Oh.
And so the game slowed down dramatically, but you had a lot more control over what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I gotta tell you, people were trolls.
I'm sure.
And that was half the fun. But so you had great things the names of every Pokemon was and they would just randomly succeed at catching random ass fucking Pokemon. And they just barreled their way through this game with the grace of a fucking Magikarp.
That's a funny joke.
I appreciate that. But the memes and the legends that were created are some of the funniest fucking stories I ever experienced. There was Bloody Monday, a day when they needed to withdraw a Pokemon from the PC. In any other game, this wouldn't be a problem. In Twitch Plays Pokemon, the PC is the most terrifying place in the world because one of the options on the PC is releasing Pokemon.
Yeah.
So literally a group of people developed a plan to try and get into the PC and withdraw the Pokemon they needed without releasing anybody. They felt so confident about their success. They were doing it the middle of the night to try and get as few trolls on as possible. We just need to accomplish this. They put it in democracy mode. They thought everything was good. By the end, I think they released 5 Pokemon, including their starter.
Oh.
And it was just they lost everything. The only reason they ended up succeeding in this playthrough was because they managed to catch Zapdos, also known as It's just like, and there was like, they still had, I think they got rid of Bird Jesus in this period of time.
Bird Jesus.
The memes were uncontrollable. There was like the fucking Helix fossil that you get in the game, but it was like high up on their inventory list, so they would keep accidentally examining it every time they went to the menu. And so they basically just like turned it into this thing where like the character was overwhelmed by the might of the Helix fossil, and he was like a whole cult was like created. And the reason the character like couldn't get anything done is because there were like 1,000 voices yelling into his head to do things all the time. It was fucking glorious. And they eventually beat Red, and then they beat like Gold, and they just went through and they beat the entire franchise over the course of a couple months.
Interesting.
It was amazing. I loved it. The other thing that brought me back into Pokemon was Nuzlocke runs. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Nuzlocke run.
Nope.
It's kind of based off of a webcomic, but that's not important here. A Nuzlocke run is a forced challenge run of Pokemon. And there are a couple central rules to it. Key of which is you are only allowed to catch the first Pokemon you encounter in any area.
Okay.
So, like, say you're on Route 1 and you run into, like, a fucking Pidgey. You can catch that Pidgey. If you fail to catch that Pidgey, well, you can't catch anything in Route 1 anymore.
Oh.
And, I mean, if you catch that Pidgey, obviously you got him. The hardest problem with this, it means in every Nuzlocke run, your goal is to try and somehow get through every opening area before you can get Pokeballs without fighting anybody. Because you only have a limited amount of Pokemon that you can get.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be a problem except for rule number 2. If a Pokemon ever faints, you have to release it.
Oh.
And so you have a limited amount of Pokemon. And if they all, and if any of them are gone, they're gone forever.
Oof.
It is super stressful. And you know what it does? It gets you super emotionally attached to your Pokemon.
Oof.
You name them all. You love them all. You watch them die. And if at any point all 6 of your Pokemon wipe and you white out, then that's game over. It's super stressful.
What made you think of this topic now?
So I was going to get to it.
Okay.
So this was inspired by the fact that tonight, Pokemon Detective comes out.
Pokemon Detective.
Pokemon Detective.
That's what people are calling it.
Yep.
Yes.
So Detective Pikachu is out tonight.
Yep.
So I've not yet had the chance to see it, but I do want to see it.
Yeah.
Because it looks cute, and it's Ryan Reynolds being an adorable Pikachu.
It's really funny.
But you have had the chance to see it.
Yeah, I did.
Didn't invite me to your screening.
Sorry.
I wouldn't have gone.
Okay.
But I still would have been like to have been invited.
Right.
I feel like this podcast is slowly turning into me sad that you don't invite me to things.
What? Anyway. Well, okay. So before I talk about Detective Pikachu at all, what got me kind of excited for this movie, which I really didn't, I think when it was announced, I didn't really give a fuck about it. I didn't really care, because I had been out of Pikachu. I've been out of Pikachu. I've been out of Pokemon for a while.
Those Pokemans just didn't get it going for you anymore.
Whoa. But
I'm not gonna kink shame.
What got me back? Oh God, no! I can't even say these words anymore. What turned me back on? No.
Reintroduce you to the franchise.
What reintroduced me was okay. So about 2-3, I don't even know how many years ago, Pokemon Go was really popular. I
must have missed it.
I was into Pokemon Go for like a month or 2,
just like everyone else on Earth.
Yeah. And I was actually kind of behind the curve because my phone wouldn't run it, so I had to get a new phone. And I didn't get a new phone exclusively because of
I didn't
Pokemon
think so.
Go.
Like, look, Ma, I need a new phone. All the people are Pokemon going wherever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
People are finding dead bodies in fucking rivers. Like, I need to be a part of this.
Was that a thing?
Yeah. Like, some girl was trying to like catch like some aquatic Pokemon, and so she went to this river that's like right off the road near her town, and there was like a dead body that she found.
Holy fuck!
Could you imagine being that person that day?
No.
People were like, oh man, I remember the early days of Pokemon Go. People were just like breaking into places, and it was good times.
Yeah, I remember like when it came out, I just like couldn't really be a part of it, but I had witnessed it.
So sad.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, and then I had to like use it on my iPod when I had like Wi-Fi.
iPod?
Yeah.
My iPod Touch. And they ran Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
So you would just catch Pokemon around your house.
And or
McDonald's.
like malls with Wi-Fi. So then like I had grown out of it pretty quickly, and it wasn't until like a month or 2 ago that one of the supervisors under me got me back into it because he was playing it every day, and I'm like, what the hell? Who's still into Pokemon Go? He's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people who are still into Pokemon Go. And then I downloaded it again, and then I became obsessed, and I've been playing it every day since. So after that point, I started getting excited for Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
I'm sorry. Before we get back to Detective Pikachu, there's just an important thing to really share for like that solid month where everyone was playing Pokemon Go. It was just a cultural movement.
Yeah.
The thing that really sold me how big this game was. There's a picture that was posted on Facebook by one of my uncles. It's a picture of my grandmother on a bench, surrounded by a bunch of strangers, and she is playing Pokemon Go. My grandmother had no idea really what the fuck Pokemon was.
Yeah.
I don't know what on earth got her doing this, but I'll be damned if she wasn't having a conversation with a bunch of random people like a fifth her age, trying to catch some Pokemon on a bench in the middle of a park.
Yeah. Well, when Cheyenne and I went to my grandmother's house the other day, and we were playing it, or no, we didn't go to. I think we were at like outside. I don't think we were at her house. I don't remember where we were.
Outside.
We were in Long Beach.
Yeah, we were like getting dinner with my family, and we were playing Pokemon Go because there were so many there. And she was like, "What are you guys doing?" She kept asking questions, and then she like started taking interest in it, and like seemed like she wanted to join.
She also vaguely knew what it was.
Yeah,
too.
because of that like month or so, and it was extremely big. She said that she would go to the park with my grandfather, and they would see like all these kids on their phone. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But at that point, I vaguely remember like anything, but it was like missing.
I vaguely remember anything.
It was missing a lot of features like trainer battles or like anything really besides catching Pokemon.
It's catching Pokemon and gyms.
Yeah.
That was the entire game. There's a reason a lot of people left when they realized there was really nothing to the game.
Yeah, but they've like since they've added a bunch of stuff and like
trainer battles.
Yeah, trainer battles. You can like raids and stuff. I don't know if they have raids, but like in gyms they have like these good Pokemon that'll come and like take over the gym for a bit, and you can take it down with a group of friends. And capture it.
Cool.
Yeah, and there just so happens to be a gym right outside my work. Like I can, if I'm sitting in my box office, I can get to the gym, but anywhere else in the building I can't. So like I'll just like sneak in the box office. There's like a little door behind the box office. I'll like stand there and like take over the gym and then go along my way.
I feel so much better about watching my fucking trailer during work today.
But it's like we've gotten like some of our crew members to play Pokemon Go too.
Wait, there's a sequel
as well.
There we go.
Yeah, but it's a resurgence. It's the Pokemon Go Renaissance. We're living through the Pokemon Go Renaissance.
Oh, thank God. And then there are people who just never let it go.
Yeah,
like a certain manager.
Yeah, like a manager
at my work.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I went back when I worked there still. We went out. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was after. But we went out to eat.
Time's a concept.
Yeah, time. I don't remember. It was when I was at like 2 a.m. And
no one invited me
with another manager because we were all closing. So we're like, oh, after we close, we can.
No one invited me.
Yeah. But we went out to like Hermosa Beach, and he apparently had known exactly like this area it was good for Pokemon, and he was just like playing Pokemon Go the whole time and like catching these shit, taking over the gyms. I was like, really?
To be fair, most people knew the beach area was like the place to go.
Well, I mean, like any beach area, it's like really big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like he's like been into it this whole time, never letting go.
Never let it go.
Doesn't he have a special watch?
I mean, he has that like
he has the Pokeball accessory
the
thing.
Pokemon Go Plus thing.
That's like his watch. It's not a watch, but it's like a wrist
pedometer
thing. Yeah, it's madness.
Yeah, but it's fun, and I like it now.
I'm so glad, and so that renewed your love of Pokemon, leading you directly into Pokemon Detective Pikachu Express.
VPN. What?
Oh God, sponsor?
No.
Nord? NordVPN, sponsor us. I've never used a VPN in my life. Convince me. Pay me to do it.
Anyway, when I had heard that it was coming out after having played Pokemon Go, I'm like, oh, I know some Pokemon now. I mean, I knew Pokemon, but I totally forgot like any Pokemon besides like Piplup.
I do
Pikachu.
love how you say Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Pokemon.
What do I say?
Pokemon.
Pocket Monsters? Is that better?
Pokemon. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna torment you. It's okay. Continue.
Anyway.
I'm just saying it's Japanese letters. It's Pokemon. It's not Pokemon. Pokemans.
Pokemon. Pokemon.
Pokemon. I've seen those parodies. I'm sorry. I just had to be an elitist snob just to piss you off.
Anyway, these Pocket Monsters that I'm talking about.
Pocket Monster, Detective Pocket Monster.
I didn't really care. And then after I watched the movie last night and it was pretty good.
Is it possibly the best video game movie ever made? Second only, obviously, to Alicia Vikander's Tomb Raider.
No.
What is the best? What's better than this?
Resident Evil, of course. Great movie. What are you talking
Like
about?
the first Resident Evil?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like a movie that's honestly probably like a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Okay.
No. I honestly don't know what I would even give that accolade to.
Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
Ooh, Mortal Kombat?
I mean, I like the first Mortal Kombat movie, but it's not actually good. It looks amazing compared to its sequel.
I can't even... Silent Hill?
Yeah, it's okay. Like, we live in a world where, like, the best video game adaptations are like, well, that one's not bad.
Yeah.
So the fact
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, here we go. That'll be number 1.
Yeah. But that's kind
or the Tom Holland Uncharted movie whenever that comes out.
Assassin's Creed?
That was not good.
Prince of Persia?
That one's okay.
I didn't see it.
It's not bad, but it's not great. Jake Gyllenhaal can do better. Like Mysterio.
But I mean, that's the one that Pikachu is getting compared to a lot is now Sonic,
obviously,
because they're coming out when they were announced roughly the same.
Well, it's more just this movie's coming out at the same time this trailer dropped, and there's like this horrifying CG abomination that looks nothing like its source material.
Yeah. Versus
this movie, which like that is
it
Pikachu.
Actually does really well with the CG. I think.
I thought it would.
There are some scenes where like the actors are obviously like on a green screen,
and they're acting to a bunch of like tennis balls that are.
Oh, not even that. It's just like environmental stuff. It's not even the Pokemon.
Not even the Pikachu.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's not even like when they're next to Pokemon. There's this sequence where they're like sliding down a mountain, and it like there's this one scene in that sequence that's really bad.
Whatever.
That I noticed, and I was like, okay, sure.
Bad CGI pops up in a lot of really good movies.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
I didn't notice.
What?
What?
Are you serious?
Where is there bad CGI in there?
All over the place.
I didn't notice it. Obviously, I was too engrossed in the story to.
Clearly.
But yeah, I mean, overall, it's a really pretty good movie.
Oh, really pretty good. Like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll probably give it an 8.
Oh, that's a great movie. Under almost any other scale.
Maybe 7.75.
7.75. Oh my god, you're going on a freaking 80-point scale now?
So it's...
Why?
I would see it if you're into Pokemon.
That's a 40-point scale, but whatever.
I would see it if you're a child that doesn't know what Pokemon is, because that's all the children now. And
would you see it if you were an old curmudgeon who thought he was past his Pokemon prime?
Yeah, probably. It's like a.
I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, it's a good thing to watch.
I still have a fondness in my heart for Pokemon. It's just reality has told me that I shouldn't.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Again, I'd like to point out, not letting time fool us. I believe in the first episode of the podcast, I said I thought the Pokemon looked just fine,
and I said they look like slimy and shit.
Yeah.
Well, because I think Bulbasaurs. Actually, no, the Bulbasaurs and the Charmanders, they look kind of slimy. It looks weird, but they don't
slimy
look bad.
Yet satisfying.
Oh, I don't know where that's going, but I don't want to go there.
It's Lion King.
Oh yeah. The bugs?
Yeah.
The grub? Yeah.
The grubs.
The cow grubs.
You know it.
Yeah. But it does pretty well with the rest of them, I think.
Cool.
I mean, Mewtwo which was in the trailer, is like he looks
Spoilers.
really cool, I think. And the Charizard is badass.
Yeah. And other stuff that's in the movie that he doesn't want to spoil.
Mm-hmm.
Because it literally just came out today.
Yeah.
Tonight. Officially. Well, 4:00.
That's right.
I hate that.
It's like
you can't say a movie comes out on Friday when I can watch it at 4:00.
That's just like kids
Thursday.
movies, though. Apparently,
I know, but just release the kids movies on Friday then. I know it's a losing battle. It's like fucking Black Friday.
Fucking?
It's just like fucking. It's a losing battle. It's like Black Friday.
Why is it a battle?
It's a war.
What about Black Friday?
It's like Black Friday, where it's like Black Friday starts on like Thursday. It's like Wednesday now.
Yeah, Thursdays are the new Fridays. What do you mean? You need to know this?
But like it's like noon on Thursday.
A lot of colleges
time to start buying Black Friday
Friday
sales. It's like, god damn.
For some stores, it's the week before.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Even the weekend before.
Oh, that's how I got my TV.
Exactly.
This is
You
what I'm
got it a
talking about.
week before Black Friday.
And they were like the best sales of the week anyway.
Yeah.
Like it didn't go
Like
any
it
further.
literally said Black Friday sale and then the time period.
Yeah.
And it extended beyond Black Friday.
I hate it. That's so stupid. Just call it fucking Black Week. Black History Month.
Oh,
No, I don't know. I just think that I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for movies to come out on the day they're advertised as. That's all.
coming Friday. Really? I can see it.
I don't believe you. Isn't like Spider-Man coming out on a Tuesday?
Well, I mean, there's that whole thing of some movies sometimes coming out on Tuesdays.
I hate that. And I hate that it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Oh, no.
Exactly.
I know what that means.
I know you do.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's what I'm terrified of.
See it.
I will. I definitely plan to. Other than that, what else do you want to talk about today?
I think that would probably round it out.
Are you sure? No little nothing you want to throw in at the end there we can talk about for like 5 minutes?
Well, I mean, I did just get Mortal Kombat 11.
Cool. How is it?
That's good.
I love how finally the time we can talk about a video game. It's a video game I have not played.
Yeah, and that I have played.
I mean, I played 9 and 10 pretty extensively. So,
okay. I will say this about Mortal Kombat 11.
Don't buy it on the Switch.
Yeah, I got it for the Switch.
You fool.
Mainly because I got MKX on my PC, and I have not played with anyone because no one comes to my house.
Yep.
And so I can't play with anyone. Looks good on my PC, and from like the gameplay I've seen of MK11, it looks really good, but not on the Switch. It looks like hot garbage.
I bet.
It is like, it's playable, but I mean, I was like debating whether or not to get it from my on my Xbox One X so I can play it in 4K. And
I don't even think I knew you had an Xbox One X.
Yeah. So that I could play it in 4K and in all its beauty and glory. Or buying it on the Switch so that it can be more portable. I can play with my friends when we have like game nights or something. I can bring it over without lugging my Xbox around. But I chose the Switch in the end, and I don't think I regret it. I just regret it visually.
Okay. Good to know. Who's your main?
Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot. Nice. Do you know the history of that name?
Tobias Boone.
Okay. Do you know what that means?
It's one of the people that worked on it?
Incorrect.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's actually the last names of 2 different developers. Key to Mortal Kombat.
Cool.
Yeah. I had a feeling somebody was going to teach you the wrong information about this. Yeah. It's like Ed Boon. It's like the head of the it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a good game. There are good games. I looked at that and I'm like, I know what will happen when I buy this game. I'm going to play it for like a week. I'm not going to have anybody to play it with. I'm never going to play it again. It's happened with MK10. That's what happened with Injustice 2.
Yeah.
I was like, it's kind of what happened with Dragon Ball FighterZ also. I was like, I really enjoy these fighting games, then I don't play with anyone, and I'm not good enough to play online, and then I never play them again.
That's also why I don't really want to buy My Hero 1's Justice or like What's that one? The Shonen
Jump Force?
Jump Force, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I do. So because of that, I'm like, when I was looking at GameSpot last week, I'm like, I'll pick up Days Gone. And people are really ragging on this game, and I kind of get it. But at the same time, I really like this game.
I really want to like that game. I haven't played it, but after like hearing reviews that were negative, I'm like, oh, maybe I should skip it.
Okay, so from what I heard, now to be fair, this is entirely like Sony's fault. This game was like given to reviewers like 2 weeks before it came out, and it was apparently not ready.
That seems to be the case with a lot of games now.
I know, but we're talking
or
like
phones.
We're talking like in that 2 weeks, I think they got 4 patches.
That's a lot of patches,
just for the people reviewing the game. When it first, like when they first got in their hands, it was borderline unplayable. Like game-breaking bugs, the game crashing all the time, like people driving into the world geometry.
Sounds
people,
like Anthem.
Yeah, it was bad, and that was the first experience a lot of like professional reviewers got of the game. And I feel like that tainted their perception of this game, because by the time it got into my hands, I bought the game like a week or 2 after it came out. There's been more patches. The game is much more stable. I've had a couple bugs, one of which was pretty funny. There was a cutscene where just like the audio slowly desynced throughout the course of it. So like it was totally fine at the beginning, and by the end it was like I was hearing things like 5 or 6 seconds after they were happening. I'm like, I'm glad this is just a conversation and not like a really important cutscene.
Yeah. Well,
and it started in the next cutscene, so I just restarted the game and it worked fine after that.
But how? Like, what are your opinions on the plot, storyline, and gameplay?
Okay, so the gameplay is fine. It's totally serviceable, honestly. It's a shooter. It feels a little clunky, but like so does The Last of Us, to be fair. And like that's one of my favorite games of all time. So I would be super hypocritical if I was just like, the game works totally fine, and there's like a focus button where you can like slow down time to like line up headshots, which totally makes it fine.
Okay. And like Witcher senses?
Kind of. No, honestly, there are like a lot of like you can literally just press a button and it goes into like investigation mode where you like see the things around you. This game feels like a weird combination between The Last of Us and The Witcher, which is a weird thing to say, and like with a little bit of Sons of Anarchy in there. Yeah. And like, why in God's name is everyone in this universe only use bikes? Like there are cars all over the place,
and bikes are allowed.
Yes, they are. It's a hot take, but why is no one driving cars? Regardless, the story is weird because I don't know. I can't say Sam Witwer is giving a bad performance as Deacon St. John, the main character, because he's not. He's giving actually a really good performance. It's just a weird fucking character.
Yeah.
He talks to himself. He mumbles a lot. He goes on really weird tirades. He just, I don't like this guy. Just feels like he's just like moments away from just like exploding and shooting either everyone around him or himself in the head. And I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about this character. And I've been playing as him for like 10 hours.
Yeah, that's weird.
But again, he's not bad. He's an interesting character, and like his backstory is interesting, and it's clear that it's a choice because in the flashback scenes, he's not that. He's totally normal. I mean, he's got like his little bend, but like, you know, he's not this. This is clearly a choice that they made because of what the world did to him. But in terms of the overall plot, I don't think it's bad. And every reviewer I saw said that the story picks up a lot towards the end. Like it gets way better in the second half of the game. And the first part kind of meanders. Like the first couple hours of the game, like I don't think it's a spoiler to talk about stuff like in the first hours of the game. Like your buddy Boozer.
I've seen the first. Yeah.
He's hurt. And you spend a huge chunk of the game going around doing favors, trying to get everything you need to like take care of him and like ride north. That's literally the first couple hours of the game is just doing a bunch of random ass odd jobs. And it does not put the game's best foot forward. But slowly they start introducing characters that are clearly becoming more important on the overarching story. When you eventually ride farther south into like an area that's not really accessible in the start of the game, which I'm only just into, you start meeting a lot more interesting characters. And I feel like the real plot is really kicking in.
Maybe there's hope for it yet. Maybe I should get it.
I like the world. I do like driving around. I feel like I'd be more annoyed about the fast travel system requiring fuel if I ever felt like fast traveling, but I don't. The world's not that big. You can get to it like from one side to the other, at least in the top half of the map, which is where you can find for a lot of the early hours of the game. Like it's no longer like a 3-minute drive anywhere. So I don't know. I'm digging the game. I'm not saying it's anything amazing. It's probably like a 7.5 at this point.
Yep.
But like there are a lot worse ways to spend your money. It looks like there's going to be a lot to dig into. One of the things that you do need to bear in mind, I know a lot of reviewers have touched on this. A lot of the game sold itself on the zombie hordes. I know they're not zombies, but like the hordes and like how intimidating that is. If you're only playing story beat to story beat to story beat, I still have not run into one of those in the main story.
Interesting.
And again, I've been playing the game now for I think 10 hours.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're looking for, it's not going to grip you immediately. Story missions usually are just like go to a place, kill all the enemies there. Go to a place, sneak around some stuff and talk to a dude. Go to a place, kill all the enemies, and then sneak around and talk to a dude. Lately, it's been branching out a lot more. But like the early part of the game, seriously, it does not put its best foot forward. And I feel like I'm only just scratching the surface on this plot. I think it's a longer game than I was expecting it to be. But I have found hordes when wandering around the open world. And I can tell you, that shit's intimidating as fuck.
See, okay. What I'm also really interested in is another game that just came out, World War Z.
Yeah.
That looks awesome in terms of hordes and stuff, because that's the main bulk of it.
Yes, it is. I mean, those are a group of developers that saw the World War Z movie and are like, oh yeah, video games about this is be tight.
And I've from what I've seen of gameplay and what I've heard from people playing it, it's
Left 4 Dead.
Like Left 4 Dead. Yeah, which I fucking love. Like those games I love so much, and I feel like I really want to get.
That's probably a safer bet for you then.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, I love the stress. But again, like I'm enjoying the game. I'm at this point playing the game. I'm just kind of doing it, turning off my brain, just enjoying the ride, literally. But I will say the one thing holding me together in the story, and I don't know if it's just me and I'm a sucker for like romance, because I am.
I'm a sucker for love. I knew that's where it was gonna go.
But like romantic subplots or whatever. Like I've always been emotionally attached to those and things, even when it's like not really matters. You constantly flash back to Deacon's like relationship with Sarah, his wife. That's a huge part of his motivation in the game. And I really like them together. Like I think they're both really interesting characters in this period of time, and it makes me want, like that's the part of the game that I'm invested in the story. I want to figure out like what happened, like what their journey they went on, and I want to know what happened to her. Like, I mean, like right at the start of the game, it's like, she was killed like during the events of this thing, but like there's a mystery surrounding her. That is like a secondary plot to the game that is definitely driving me forward, and I'm actually super curious about. And I mean, I feel like I'm getting to the point where the game is going to turn into something really much more special. And so probably next week I'll probably give like an updated thing on this. I feel like I'm going to be higher on this game than I am now, because I feel like I've gotten through the busy work crap. Which to be fair, there's something to be said about a game that takes 10 hours to get good. Yeah. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. People would be like, Final Fantasy 13, that game is so good once you get past the first 40 hours. I'm like, that is not a good recommendation of a video game.
I wouldn't think that would be a good game.
Like, to be fair, after those 40 hours of walking through a bunch of different colored hallways, the game does get really good, but it's not worth it. I would never recommend that game to somebody.
Yeah.
Because, no, why would you? It's the same thing where it's like, man, this show gets real good after you get past the first season. That's the reason I don't recommend people watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though it's one of my favorite shows on TV. Because that first season, not that good. Second season and on, fucking amazing.
Good to know.
Yes. Somebody was like, can I just skip to the second season? I'm like, you'll be real confused.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, plot happens during those episodes, but they're like, that is a movie that is waiting for Captain America Civil War. I mean, not Civil War, Winter Soldier. And it's very clear. That show is just like, we're biding our time, we're waiting around, we're Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and S.H.I.E.L.D. won't be much more and very much longer, so we kind of just gotta wait time. Last 6 episodes of that, right after Winter Soldier comes out, fucking amazing.
Good.
But I definitely feel like this show would have been a lot better if it was like a 10-episode limited series for this first season, and like the halfway point was Winter Soldier. Yeah, so that's my tirade.
Okay.
That's like my 4th tirade today.
Yeah, that's probably all the tirade time we have left.
This is a long episode again. I feel like I'm just getting wordier and wordier.
Verbose?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sticking through and listening to to Kyle's tirades.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Literally, anybody who knows me, that's what I do.
Yeah. It's charming
That's a word.
to describe it. Anyway, thank you for listening to this episode of the ZymCast. If you want to reach out to us for any reason, you can give us a mention on Twitter at ZymMedia.
You doubting yourself there?
No, I was following.
Cheyenne, you feel like you want to say something here? It looks like you want to say something.
Nope, she just wants to say bye.
Yeah, I was just waiting.
She just really wants us to close this episode off. I don't blame her.
We're almost at 2 hours.
Cool. We got to beat Avengers record.
No. All right, thank you guys for listening, and you will hear us next week.
Probably. You never know. We might not record for another week again for no reason. Because Saturday just doesn't feel like a good day for you.
I'm sorry.
I saw that. I'm like, I guess I'm sleeping in.
Anyway, thank you guys, and goodbye.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Chase.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Cheyenne.
Yeah, bye.
Just want to make sure everybody knows our names.